So here's another example of the long division process. I look at the divisor. That looks good. X plus 3, little binomial. And I'm going to divide it into, and now I look at the dividend, but the terms are in order, but one's missing. There's no x cubed. So I've got to put that in as a placeholder. So I'm going to have x to the 4th plus 0x cubed minus 7x squared plus 7x plus 6. It's a long one. Okay, so make sure I have all my terms. One way you can know is the highest exponent is 4 in that polynomial, so I should have 5 terms. It's going to be one more because of the constant. Okay, so I start with my division. How many times does x go into x to the 4th? X cubed times. Then I do the multiplying. Multiply and multiply. So x cubed times x is going to be x to the 4th. Those two are supposed to look exactly the same, and they do. And then I go x cubed times 3, which is plus 3x cubed. See, if I didn't have that 0x cubed, then I don't have a spot for the x cubed term. That's why it's there. It's just sitting there as a placeholder. Now I'm going to change my signs. So I change both of them. And then I combine. So x to the 4th minus x to the 4th, that's out. That's supposed to happen. And now I'm going to get a negative 3, well, shoot. I was going to do it all color coordinated. Negative 3x cubed. I bring down the next term, negative 7x squared. Okay, and then I'm going to start the whole process over. I'm going to get rid of those arrows because they'll be in my way. All right, I start with how many times does x go into negative 3x cubed? Well, this time it's going to be a negative 3x squared. Now, sometimes it's confusing to students. How did you get that? I took the negative 3x cubed, this right here, what I'm trying to divide into, and I'm dividing it by the first term here, which is x. Okay? So you can always write that over to the side, you know, like kind of a little bit of scrap paper or something. Anyway, if you simplify that, that's just a monomial divided by a monomial. You're going to get negative 3x squared. So it might be easier to see it if you write it out over there. Okay, now we're going to do the multiplying. And it's kind of a check. Negative 3x cubed, x squared times x. That's going to get me a negative 3x cubed. Perfect. Then I've got to go negative 3x squared times 3, which is going to be minus 9x squared. Okay, good. Now I've got to change the signs. And the reason I change the signs is because it's subtracting. So this is going to become positive, and that's going to become positive. All right, negative 3x cubed and 3x cubed, those cancel out. Now I have negative 7x squared and a positive 9x squared. That's going to give me 2x squared. And then I bring down the next term. We've got a lot of terms. Okay, then we start the whole process over again. Oh, let me erase these arrows that are in my way. Okay, so how many times does x go into 2x squared? That's going to be a plus 2x. And then I multiply. 2x times x, 2x squared, making sure that those are the same. And then 2x times 3, that's going to be 6x. 2 times 3 is 6, yep. All right, don't forget to change your signs. I keep hitting that twice, that's why it's doing that. But don't forget to change your signs, okay? Because that's a big deal. We're always subtracting on that stuff. Those cancel out, and then I get x, 7x minus 6x, that's x, and I bring down plus 6. So that's that last term there coming down here. Okay, we're going to go one more time. How many times does x go into x? Once. And I do need the 1. Plus 1. So over here you're thinking x over x, that just equals 1. All right. Now I have to get those orange arrows out of the way. All right, now I have to multiply. 1 times x, that's x. 1 times 3, that's 3. And then you're almost done. So, hang in there. You got to still change the signs. So that's going to make a difference. Make it negative there and negative there. Those cancel out. 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay, So this time we got a remainder. What's the answer? The answer is going to be all of that stuff that I wrote above the division bar, all of that, plus, and then I take my remainder, 3, and I put it over the divisor, x plus 3. So, just like when we had a fraction on that division problem, it was like 18 was our remainder, and we put 18 over 23. So you take your remainder, and you write it over the divisor. Okay? So that one was pretty long.